manager, elite general manager mode right now. Alright guys, we're still in the middle of the tutorial, but we just have got past the level 3, we're on level 4. I'm going to be going over this as we're going through. So we've got Tony Schiavone, you've got the basics down, but do you have what it takes to book a hard-hitting episode of AEW Dynamite? Alright, let's close this off. Alright, so we're still showing level 3, 100 out of 150. Close it. We've got one gimmick voucher. We can use that for a match. Could be like a hardcore match, table match, steel cage, anything that has something out of the ordinary, different from just a normal basic one-on-one or tag team match. Alright, so sign Chuck Taylor and Joey Janela, check. To your roster by week 1. Schedule Chuck Taylor and Joey Janela in a 1 versus 1 by week 1. We've done both of those. Let's continue on. Got the flashing lines for Dynamite. Tony Schiavone. To talk about wrestlers and tributes, I'm going to throw it over to my colleague Excalibur. We see Chris Jericho inside the ring. This is kind of the way that we're going to designate matchups. I know some people haven't played this game yet, but you know, hopefully this will get you a feel for what this is going to do and what it's about. I'm looking forward to the one that's going to be coming up on consoles. It's going to be coming out hopefully this coming year, 2022, is what they're expecting. So, you know, fingers crossed, hopefully it will. Hopefully it'll be outstanding. Excalibur says, thanks Tony, let's discuss. Taz jumps in. Shut up, Excalibur. No one is more qualified to talk about the intricacies of wrestler tributes than myself. First, open up your roster to see your wrestlers. Alright guys, so we got Chris Jericho here. This is, Taz is still saying, every wrestler has a strength stat. The stronger a wrestler is, the more likely they are to bring home the W. Okay, fair enough. Completely understand that. Speed. A wrestler's speed is a measure of the intensity they bring when fighting an opponent, which directly affects the match's popularity. And finally, the more popular a wrestler is, the more popular the match, and the more money it brings in. Fair enough. Okay. Now that you understand what makes a wrestler tick, go ahead and book a match for this week. Okay, cool. We'll definitely do that. So, can we pick Jericho? Jericho's going to be in the match regardless. So we could pick. These are our choices. 4 of them. We got 3 of them. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, or Orange Cassidy. And I think I'm going to have to go with, let's see, popularity wise they're all at 95. But it's got 85 for Matt, 74 for Nick, 65 for Orange Cassidy. Speed wise they've got Orange Cassidy with 58. So I read them from the top down, now I'm going to read them from the bottom back up to the top. Like I said, Orange Cassidy with 58, Nick Jackson with 89, Matt Jackson with 89 also. And for the purple, I guess I'm going to guess that's heart, how much heart they've got. Matt Jackson with 76, Nick Jackson with 87, and Orange Cassidy with 97. Now, the fist up in the air, popularity, right? 50 for Orange Cassidy, 50 for Nick Jackson. Well, no, that could be strength. No, they just went up. Strength is going to be right here where they got the bicep rolled up right here. So he didn't really go, he didn't touch on the, speed, but he didn't touch on endurance. Okay, so increases the amount of stamina recovered each week. So having wrestling stars on your roster that have a lot of endurance would benefit you because you're going to be able to wrestle them more, right? Without having to risk them being injured as much, right? Alright, so speed advantage, high speed movement adds the intensity of a wrestler's moves, giving a boost to the popularity of the match. and higher strength increases the wrestler's contribution to their team's victory chance during a match. Of course, you got Nick and Matt, both the tag team champions, on this game, just like they are still in real life right now. We're gonna go with let's go with Matt Jackson. We'll put him up against Chris Jericho. So we just drag the card over, drop it, and it's going to cost $10,000 to be able to book the match. We're going to go down here and we're going to hit the bell icon. That's going to start it, get it ready, and we press the green button. That's going to get this opener that you've got for TNT AEW Dynamite. Alright, Matt Jackson running over Jericho. He hits him with a move, back with a what looks to be a V-trigger. 1, 2, 3. Jericho wins. Fireworks go off, and the crowd goes, depending on where they're at, crazy or irate, depending on if it's in Jericho's turf or Young Bucks turf. Alright, so contributions we got from this matchup. We ended up getting $13,880 cash from it, giving us a total of $53,880. Ratings went up to 122,548, and we got 5 more fists in the air. All right, so Taz says, which we only got a 1-star rating. Keep in mind though, normally you're at least going to have 3 matches on the show. We only have 1 match this week. That was tremendous. Utilizing the different attributes for each wrestler is critical to booking the best matches. Okay. What else you got for us, Taz? Continue. It says, let's take a look on how that match affected your wrestler's stamina. Okay. Stamina measures the energy level of a particular wrestler. If a wrestler's stamina drops too low, the risk of injury increases. Okay, so Jericho's at 91% stamina. The higher of a wrestler's endurance, the more stamina they will recover each week. So Jericho's at 75. Be mindful of your stamina levels when booking matches. Fair enough. Okay, so granted, I see here in the yellow the popularity level went up 5 points. Everything else was kind of unchanged other than the stamina, like he talked about before. Morale went up 10. We won the match. Alright guys, so we got another matchup. Let's check our... We can't unlock any match types yet, but we are going to check our clipboard here for our objectives. It's a schedule of 1 versus 1 by week 2, which we schedule one in week 1. We got to schedule another one now. Fair enough. Let's do that. Alright, so we got Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson are both got the lightning bolts. I'm going to take that as a good sign. Let's put brother versus brother. No, tell you what, instead of that, let's put in Orange Cassidy. Let's have him fill in for Nick Jackson. So it'll be Matt Jackson versus Orange Cassidy. Alright, we got them both out here in the middle of the ring. Cassidy's got his hands in his pockets. Matt Jackson comes over, punches. Orange Cassidy does some type of move, gets put down. 1, 2, 3. Matt Jackson wins the matchup. We just got a 1-star, but granted, like I said, that's taking the overall of the show, and when you just got 1 match. Alright, granted, either way, we went up $14,985 as far as overall cash. This is going to be going into what wrestlers we're going to be able to sign once we get out of this particular part. Once we get out of this tutorial part. Now, ratings went down 12,990. Evidently, they didn't like that much. They didn't care for it that much. Fists in the air went up 5. Okay, so let's continue on. We'll just kind of do it to it and figure out what they like and what they don't like along the way. Now we're going to throw it backstage to Alex Marvez. Thank you, Tony. We're here discussing the core behind why one wrestler gains a competitive edge over another. Morale. So morale has a lot to do with it, huh? It makes sense though. How inspired they are or lack thereof inspiration, right? A wrestler's morale improves when a wrestler is booked favorably from week to week, but decreases when booked multiple times in a single week. So if you overwork them, of course, they're going to be down about it, and yeah. So morale provides an increase or decrease to the efficiency of a wrestler's strength and speed endurance. Okay, so we put up Jericho's to 55. That's what he's sitting at right now. Now, if we would have booked him just the match that we just had against Matt Jackson and Orange Cassidy, had we booked him in that match again after him going at it the week prior, that probably would have brought his morale down, I would say, right? Unless he would have won the match. Say he would have won the match, it might have had a different effect on it. But let's go to objectives real quick. Alright, so current objective for week 3, schedule 1 versus 1 match. Okay, so is it going to give us the same talent pool to come from? Evidently it will. So Matt Jackson's morale is at 65. Evidently okay. So Matt Jackson was booked in both of those prior 2 shows. So evidently booking them more raises their morale. I tell you what, Nick Jackson's all the way down to 40 though. Let's book him and let's book Jericho. And I see that Jericho's likely to win, but he's already versed one of the Bucks. So let's put him against the other Buck, the other young Buck. And let's go ahead and go to ready. Let's see how this plays out. Alright guys, we got Nick Jackson and Chris Jericho. Ooh, he dives off the springboard. Hits him in the head. Jericho runs him over. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. And Jericho comes away with the W. Now, the question is, how much were the fans interested? Ooh, we're seeing some good numbers. Okay. So, for the cash flow for the company, we got plus 14,856. For the ratings, we went up 7,313. Solid. And then for the fist in the air, which I am thinking is popularity, right? Popularity on the rise. Fist in the air, that's like a kind of consistent with like a thumbs up. Plus 5, so we're sitting at 15 right now. And we only garnered a 1-star rating out of 3, which I'm going to reiterate this, that it is going off of there only being 1 match on the card, right? So, granted, we got Alex Marvez here. It says many of the wrestlers at All Elite Wrestling have perks, which give them bonuses in certain conditions. For instance, wrestlers who perform well in tag team matches will have a tag team perk. Okay, which would be like up here, but granted, they are not only having the tag team perk, they got the tag team belts, right? Absolutely. What do you guys think about Matt and Nick Jackson? You guys think they are the best tag team in the world? Or do you guys got a tag team out there that you all think are better than them? Do you guys think the Lucha Brothers are better than Matt and Nick Jackson? We're going to find out All Out at the pay-per-view. Let's see how this particular perk plays out in the ring by booking 2 tag team wrestlers in a matchup. I see what they're trying to do. These. Alright, cool. Let's do it. Alright, so we gotta go ahead and hit down on this arrow button. Okay, so they're wanting us to add it as an actual tag team match. Schedule a tag team by week 4. So this is week 4. We're gonna schedule a tag team match. I'm gonna do Matt and Nick Jackson going against Chris Jericho, Le Champion, and Orange Cassidy. Looks good, is good. 20,000. So it actually takes 10,000 more to schedule a tag team match versus what you would have to normally put into a regular singles 1 versus 1 matchup. I mean, it makes sense. You got twice as many people in the matchup. Why would it not cost a little bit more to be able to put that on, right? You got more participants. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hit this bell, hit the ready, and we're good to go. Let's do it. This is going to be bringing all everybody's popularity, stamina, morale, and all that good stuff. Ooh, diving from the inside to the outside of the ring, and so does Orange Cassidy. And evidently they were able to have pinfalls anywhere because they had Jericho and Orange Cassidy combination runs away with the win. And this ends up with a 1-star rating. Now, buts. We end up with plus $37,169 in cash for the company, better than what we were. We end up with $112,560 more. Ratings, we end up with plus 30 on our popularity. Interesting. Alright guys, so we completed all that. We're on level 4. We're 50 into level 4 right now. So close that tab off. Alright, so Alex Marbez says, I'm going to click this over to multi-stream. Put an AEW GM mode, and I'm going to tag somebody in this. If I can. Just gonna let me tag somebody in it. Let's find out real quick. It's one of my buddies and me. We really like going over this stuff a lot. So, see how it reads out here. And it should let me tag him in it. It's not gonna let me tag anybody. At least not in the comments section. Let's see what we got here, guys. Alright, so let's continue on right here, guys. We got absolutely incredible. These are some of the most exciting weeks of AEW Dynamite we've seen. He says, well, you've done well up to this point, so let's reward your efforts. Alright, so we got a shop AEW box. It says, open the box, swipe across it. Open it up. A truck gimmick. Do what? It's gonna be a truck gimmick. Plastic blocks gimmick. Okay. Vanguard 1. Interesting. Old Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy gimmick. Thumbtacks gimmick. It's gonna be like hardcore type match. And we got a kendo stick. Yeah, you know, kind of brings up Sandman whenever we see the kendo stick. That's who I first think of whenever I see a kendo stick. Who do you guys first like? Who comes to mind with you all whenever you first see a kendo stick in like professional wrestling wise? He's like the first one. Alright, as you improve as general manager, you'll unlock amazing customizations. Once we finish up here, head over to your profile to view your current inventory. Alright, outstanding. Let's go ahead and continue. So is there anything else we gotta do before we can start going head to head against people? Alright, so drag and drop a match type here. Now it's important to remember that match formats have different costs and effect on your show. Some even have bonuses. Okay, let's go ahead and tap that. Some match formats could negatively affect the health of your wrestlers. Choose the match formats wisely if you want to book the best show week after week. Alright, outstanding, Tony. Cool. So it's one of those good match types. Okay, let's do that. 1 versus 1, and it says down below it 10,000 is what it's going to cost us. We're sitting at exactly 10,000 right now. Drag and drop that in the middle of the ring. This bar on the right side of the screen represents the severity of a match. Higher severities can drain wrestlers' stamina faster and increase the chance of injury, but potentially make the matchup more exciting to watch. Okay, so, even though the matchup's going to be a little bit more dangerous, it could spark more interest into the fans' minds, right? Basically, is what that's trying to say. Alright. Schedule 1 versus 1. And remember, we got all these different gimmicks and stuff that we can use. We could tap into that and try to use one of those. We'll figure it out. We've only got 2 superstars to choose from. We got Kenny Omega and Luchasaurus. So both these guys are going to be in the matchup, regardless. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be picked for it. Can we smash this? Match types. Okay, so we can't use a gimmick match for this particular one. This is not going to happen. But what we can do is we can go ahead and run this as a 1 versus 1. Kenny Omega with the title coming out. Let's see how this match actually goes. We got Luchasaurus coming over with a back-to-back off the ropes clothesline, V-trigger. Ooh, Kenny Omega with a suplex and the 1, 2, 3. He gets the W. Out freaking standing. Alright, but it only gave it a 1-star rating. But pros of this match being we ended up with plus 46,400 on total cash for the company. We ended up with 105,481 total ratings boost, and we ended up with plus 15 on popularity, right? Cool. Okay, so that put us on level 4 up to 100. Schedule 1 versus 1. Okay, so that should be everything, I'm thinking. Okay, it's going to discuss gimmick matches real fast. Let's discuss gimmicks. Tony Schiavone says, gimmicks are weapons and items that impact the outcome of matchups. Assign them to your wrestlers and watch the mayhem unfold. Let's try assigning a gimmick to one of our wrestlers in this week's show. Let's go over here to gimmick. Chains. Okay, so it's one to drag it. We're gonna attach it to John Moxley. Great work. It's gonna be John Moxley going against Jake Hagar in a chain match. Let's go ahead and hit ready. Alright, Moxley versus Hagar. Moxley does a springboard off the ropes. Ooh, with a chain, back, clothesline, and a big elbow to get the 1, 2, 3 against Jake Hagar. Now, how do the fans actually react to that? It's going to be something I'm going to know. So we did plus 11,600 on cash for the company. We did 146,929 as far as ratings boost, and we did plus 15 as far as popularity. Alright, scenario finish. Use the gimmick chains in a match. We've done that. It brings us up to level 4, 150. Close, and we're going to do this slide to open the box up. It's like a box cutter that they put there. So we got another chains gimmick. I guess that's just kind of their way of filling in for the one we just used in the tutorial, right? Continue. You've been really hitting it out of the park these last few weeks. Let's see what you can do over the next 2 weeks. Okay, so this is going to be a 4-way. Let's see what the roster we've got. Everybody's going to be in this. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, MJF, and Santana. So this is going to be a 4-on-4. You can't change the match type of it. It's got to be this way. We're going to go with it right now. Ready. So back in the middle of the ring, we've got Santana and Jericho squaring off, MJF and Omega. Omega jumped off the top ropes. Jericho pinned Santana for the 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Now, how did the fans like this matchup? We'll find out right now. We did plus 54,340 on cash for the company. We did plus 235,693 for his fan interest ratings, and then our fist in the air went up to 21. Count it. Outstanding. Alright, so it looks like these wrestlers have been giving it their all, and unfortunately, we may have an injury on our hands. Okay, Tony. Let's check in with Doc Sampson to find out more. Alright, here's Doc Sampson. He says, our wrestlers are stellar athletes, and they always give their all. Unfortunately, wrestlers aren't invincible. Kenny Omega and MJF both had their stamina drop too low, and they sustained injuries. They will need to set out next week. Okay, alright then. Well, with that being said, we only got 2 people left in the match that we can put together, and it's going to be Chris Jericho and Santana. They're going against each other. I'm saying that Chris Jericho is likely to win. That is yet to be seen. We're going to find out. Click the bell. Click ready. Let's do it. 2 stars. They say it's going to be 2 stars though. What? Alright. Jericho with a power bomb. Santana with a back body drop. Jericho shoulder block. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, next matchup. And well, did it deliver? Did it deliver? No, it didn't. No, it sure didn't, guys. Alright, but cash-wise, it did. Cash-wise, plus 36,877. Fan interest was not that high, though. Probably, several factors you can throw in there. You could say, well, they're both Inner Circle members. They're supposed to be in a faction together, but also because maybe Jericho was expected to win and he won. There was no maybe some people didn't see Santana on Chris Jericho's level just yet in his career, things like that. But and then we got +5 on, which is weird, but we got +5 on popularity. So maybe they liked seeing him get the opportunity to be able to do that. But just nobody expected him to win it when at first whenever he got the shot at Jericho. So it's kind of interesting to see the way that pans out and see just the way these stats are coming down after we're doing these matchups. Alright, so Shivani says, great job. Alright, so it looks like we got another 4-way lined up for us, right? Is that what we're going to be going into? We just received word from Doc Sampson that Kenny Omega and MJF have both recovered and are cleared for in-ring work. So evidently we're going to be doing another 4-way matchup. Okay then. Omega, MJF, and Santana. Let's go ahead and hit the bell. Alright. I figured it would have been more interest up, but go ahead and click it to it. Let's do it. Week 3. What we got? Alright. Omega squares off against Santana. Back body drop. Jericho takes down MJF. MJF springboards. V-trigger on Omega. Omega gets pinned by Santana. Oh my gosh, did y'all see that? I was not expecting Santana to be able to pin Kenny Omega. Not even close. I wouldn't even thought that. No. Now at some point, yes, but right here, right now, no, would not. Alright, so cash flow as far as the fallout from these matchups right here. Cash flow, it went up 60,233. Fan interaction went up 146,946, and popularity went up 25, up to 51. That's impressive for a 4-way. So 4-ways are very well received. Evidently, a lot of people like those. It gives you a lot of time. Gives you gives you the opportunity to be able to put a lot of talent in the ring at one time. And why wouldn't people like that? You know what I mean? Unless, I don't know. But I gotta say this: the least likely person that I thought would win the match won the match. Okay, I will say that 100%, no doubt about it. Just happened. Alright, so let's click continue. And let's see how the rest of this stuff pans out. As crazy as it's been so far, we're up to level 5 right now, guys. Level 5. Alright, so we got one supply voucher. Let's go ahead and click continue on it. Continue. I don't know what's going to be in the supply voucher. Great wrestling shows aren't just back-to-back matches. The Best Wrestling Show also has 2 feature segments, 2 further storylines, right? Storytelling. Okay. Segments work very similar to a match type, to match types. Choose a segment, then design either wrestlers or a match to that segment. Each segment can affect a particular match, a wrestler, a show, even someone else's show. Okay. So, let's click on the microphone here. Let's go ahead and do that. Take a stab at it. Let's go ahead and click on segments. Alright, so it's saying backstage pull apart. This particular segment is geared towards increasing the popularity of a single match. Drag in this segment and select a match to target. Alright, so let's drag it, drop it. Tap to slot a match. B for the 4-way that we got coming up tonight. It's the Bucks going against each other and Jericho and Omega. Well, scratch that. It's going to be a tag team match. It's going to be the Bucks versus Jericho and Omega. Tag team versus tag team. And so it's going to be a backstage pull apart. They're going to be backstage. Oh, we're going to beat you tonight. No, we're going to beat you tonight. Somebody's going to have to, referees or other wrestlers are going to have to be back there. No, don't do it now. Don't do it just yet. Don't do it just yet. Wait for it. It's not, not the time. Wait until we get out here in the ring. All right, let's go ahead and hit the bell. Let's hit the ready button and let's see how this pans out. All right, guys. So we got Matt and Jericho starting out. Nick gets tagged in. Omega gets tagged in. Springboard off the top with a flip, and the Young Bucks will steal the show. So what happens here? Are we not getting a 2-star rating for that? I'm kind of surprised. 361 as far as the TV goes down there though. Plus 300 or plus 35,020 as far as cash flow for the company, and plus 225 to 663 as far as ratings. Or just in there, I went to 30. I think it was at 51 prior to this. But if I'm right about this resets like every match. Every show. I think it resets every show. Alright, so nevertheless, let's see. Backstage pull apart plus 50%. So just having that backstage pull apart, it put plus 50% interest into the match or the show as a whole. The interest of the fans. That's how much just having that one segment done as far as adding to the show. That's awesome. Alright, scenario finished, backstage pull apart, level 5, at 50, okay. Let's go to continue. Alright, so Tony Schiavone says, alright, you have all the basics down. It's time for you to take over the reins as general manager of AEW Dynamite. Sign some wrestlers, set up some matches, and achieve a 5-star show. 5-star? We've been, I know we're going to have 3 matches to be able to get this 5-star. We've been struggling to get to 1-star with crazy matches like Jericho and Fatal 4-Ways with Jericho, Omega, one of the Bucks, and freaking Orange Cassidy or whoever, so interesting. We're going to see how this turns out. Alright, so it's giving us 500,000 to start with. I'm tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not exactly sure how many wrestlers I want to have to start. I want to at least have 6 to 8 wrestlers to start with. Layla Hirsch, she just went for the NWA Women's World Championship. Just this past NWA pay-per-view that had Ric Flair on it. We got Ryo Mizunami. We got Aaron Solo. But popularity's got to come into it. Nick Camarado, powerhouse, young, not much popularity yet. Aaron Solo. What about Penelope Ford? Maybe. We got Bear Boulder, and we got Bear Bronson. We got Colton Gunn, just one of Billy Gunn's kids. We got Jade Cargill. Red Velvet. Diamante, Will Hobbs, 10, Max Caster, Lance Archer, Matt Sydal. Of course, Lance Archer is going to be what? He's 80 on popularity, and it's decent, but he's 20,000. Matt Sydal is going to be 73 popularity. I'm looking for people to be able to help us achieve this 5-star rating that they're wanting us to come up with, 5 stars. So we got Yuka Sakazaki, Billy Gunn, 73 in popularity. All Ego, Ethan Page, 73. Of course, it costs 15,000. We got Miro. He's got the championship. He's gonna be 20,000. Well, let's see. I'm kind of interested to see what they've got. Sonny Kiss, Sean Spears. I'm kind of interested to see what they've got like Omega at, because Omega's gonna be your AEW World Champion. Here's Sting, who boasts a 95 popularity, but as far as the rest of his stat line goes, the way I see it, we need 2 main eventers, and we need some good females for the competition. We need a couple of lower card guys too, preferably like maybe 4 lower card guys, maybe 3 females and 2 main eventers. So 4, 7, at least somewhere around 10 or 11 people. Luther, Christian Cage, and Christian, man, with 95 on popularity as well. It's tough. It's tough. Part of me wants to go off nostalgia, but I can't do just that. Like Angelico, 10,000. He would be a solid undercard guy for right now, and I think we could actually. You got Colt Cabana, his popularity is at 73. Angelico's only at 63 though. But then you got like Peter Avalon, 60. Alex Reynolds, 73. So I'm looking, I'm browsing, I'm trying to come up with a good team, a good squad for this to be able to do this right. Eddie Kingston at 80, and he's only 15,000. That's a steal for. Now, is it going to? That's what I was wondering. I was going to see if it was actually going to put his title in there. I'm going to sign Ricky Starks. He's going to be the first signing for it, guys. Brody Lee's at 24,000. I'm going to sign Brody Lee. So Brody Lee and Ricky Starks, the first 2 from the draft. Part of me wants to sign Britt Baker, though. Alright, sign Britt Baker. I'm not going to sign Brandy. Not because we don't want Brandy, but because we need, like I said, I was saying 3 females. I want something different, though. I think I seen Abaddon up here. I'm going to sign Abaddon. So that gives us 3 females. And we're going to go with Jungle Boy's at 80. Moxley's at 90. That's the thing, though. We could build around Moxley. We got Dustin Rhodes at 73. Jake Hagar is 80. Cody at 95. Darby Allin's at 90. Okay. Brian Cage is at 80. Tell you what, instead of signing the 30,000 guys yet, 30,000 ones, we'll hold off on some of those probably. Let's see, Adam Page though, 90. Let's sign Chuck Taylor, Brian Cage, Darby Allin, and I'm wanting one more. Sammy Guevara, I think he can put on some really great matches with him, though. But I'm going to go with one last one, and it's going to be the Icon, Sting. Alright, so that's what we've got for our roster right now. That leaves us with 9. Tell you what, let's sign 2 more. Let's go with Marco Stunt and we'll sign Will Hobbs. And I'll get back to why we're signing Will Hobbs in a minute. Okay, now let's go to matches. Some of you guys might have caught that, what I did in signing, and what I did as far as the signings go, but it's gonna come out here. So let's go to the match types. The first ever match that we're going to book by ourselves it's gonna feature we want it to be a really good show. So let's go with they still got Brian Cage's FTW as well though. So really we got 3 people that we can put in a tag team match. We can put Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, or Ricky Starks, just for the fact that Brian Cage is still with FTW right now, Team Taz. This is going to be the undercard. This would be Chuck Taylor. No, better yet, wait on that. Let's do match types. Let's do a 3-way. 3-way dance, and it's going to be Will Hobbs versus Chuck Taylor versus Marco Stunt. And I know that's kind of weird, right? But just go with it for right now. We're going to have some good stuff with it. Alright, we're going to go with match type number 2. Put steel chair on here. I'm going to go with Ricky Starks. Yeah, going against Darby Allin. For the main event, it's going to be singles competition. It's going to be Sting versus Mr. Brody Lee. Winner unclear. I'll tell you what we want to do though. We want to put up a segment. So it's going to be no, we don't need that. We need a segment. Yep, right here. I want a pull apart segment. So for hospitality table, we need more fans. For a backstage pull apart, yeah, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be hyping up the match between Sting and no, we're gonna hype up this match between Allin and Ricky Starks, because I believe Sting versus Brody Lee is gonna be able to pull in enough fans by itself, and I think this will only increase this match. Alright, let's go with it. Alright, let's go with ready, and let's see how this pans out here, guys. I have no idea what's going to happen. Triple threat match. Will Hobbs goes after Marco Stunt, puts the smack down on him. Alright, and Will Hobbs goes in, shoulder tackles both of them. 1, 2, 3. Will Hobbs is your winner for that match. Ricky Starks comes in with a chair, smacks Darby Allin with it. Shoulder block. Darby Allin comes back with fury fists of his own, and 1, 2, 3, even with the chair. Alright, Sting comes in at Brody. Does the suplex to Brody. Brody comes back with clothesline, and he beats the Icon Sting with a 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay, I'm wondering how much we got a 2-star rating out of it. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it. I think it could have went for 3, but alright. It gives us room. It gives us somewhere to work. Even playing field, something to work off of. Alright, so it gives us plus 37,130 in cash, up to 397,119 as far as ratings, and up to 34 on the fist in the air. Alright guys, so I'm telling you, so we had 148,807 fans tuned in that were all about it. As far as for the triple threat match, 124,526 as far as the Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin, and then the 123,785. So really, Sting and Brody Lee pulled in less fans than what the Darby versus Ricky Starks did. So there is a little bit of edge that goes to the youth aspect of it, I'm sure. So that's going to give us up to 100 on level 5. We got to open. We got a box we got to open right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Do the slide, the slide with it. All right. So it gives us a barbed board. So barbed wire board. Okay. Let's give us something to work with. Alright, a barbed wire bat gimmick match and a sledgehammer match. Sledgehammer gimmick, barbed wire broom gimmick. Since I guess we already had those, plus 10 for Young Bucks. Says achieve a total of 50,000 fans in week 1. We've done that. Schedule 1 versus 1 week 1. We've done that. You've got quite the handle on what it takes to book an episode of AEW Dynamite, but you'll need to come out strong multiple weeks in a row if you want to prove yourself as an EVP. Are you a flash in the pan, or can you bring it week after week? Keep an eye on your main 3 stats, money, morale, and fans. Keep those high, and the ratings will follow. Okay, so we got Hikaru. So are we gonna have to pick our roster again? Is that what it's going for? I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Okay. Well, we got 200,000 on this particular one, so we got to be a little bit more conservative about who we pick, and we don't have as many people to pick from either. So we got to keep that in mind. I'm going to need 2 main event players. I'm going to go with the only really 2 main event players I see on here are Paige and Jericho. Those 2 together are going to be 68,000. Or we could do Adam Page and Cody Rhodes. We could do that. Tell you what, let's do that. Let's sign Page. Let's sign Cody. So that's what, 68,000 right there that we spent. We could sign Moxley, but tell you what, let's get a couple of good quality female stars. We've got Hikaru Shida. We'll go ahead. Man, oh man, do we want to get Shida right now? 96 though, and popularity 85. We could get Riho and Nyla Rose for 40,000, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Nyla Rose and Riho. Brandy's 85. Riho's 85, but we'll do Nyla Rose and Britt Baker. It's gonna cost a little bit more. Jeez, we gotta be able to have the money to be able to put on these matches too, though. Let's go ahead and go with Chuck. Well, I thought I just got Chuck Taylor, didn't I? No, Janela. I got Janela. Alright, let's get Chuck Taylor to go along with it. That gives us 6 stars. That's enough to be able to put on a show, and that leaves us with 59,000 left to go. Alright, let's go to match time. Alright, guys. So, match types. Because it's going to cost, if you just do one-on-one singles matches through the whole thing, it's going to cost 30,000. Because it's going to cost 10,000 each match. And that's without considering any type of gimmick matches, without considering any type of backstage pull-aparts or segments to try to boost the ratings on the show. That's without any of that. So let's go ahead and go to the one-on-one matchup, and we're going to do, starting out, let's do Chuck T against Joey Janela. But let's wait and see how much we've got left after we do this. But one-on-one matchup, we'll do Nyla Rose versus Dr. Britt Baker. And then the main event matchup is going to be one-on-one matchup. It's minus 30,000 so far. Cody Rhodes going against Hangman Adam Page. So that's going to leave us with 29,000 left. So we're riding on this to be able to make some cash back, to be able to boost everything up. And like, for instance, right here, I think this would go in our favor because winner and clear, that nobody knows, it could be either one of these guys that win this match. That brings uncertainty to it. That brings wanting to check it out because, hey, if it was just a squash match, people wouldn't be as intrigued to check it out. They wouldn't be as apt to look into it, right? I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do a segment though to go along with it, just to kind of boost this, because we need to be able to make a lot back, because we've got a lot put into this first set of roster that we've got to be able to put out, right? So let's do an on-stage promo. It's 25,000. That'll only leave us with 50,000. That only leaves us like $5,000 left. Now, if we do a spa day, it gives you plus 100 on lightning, minus 50 on strength. Do a contract signing, it's plus 10% on fist in the air. It's going to cost 25,000 to do that. Let's see here, guys. Come on. Alright, let's go all in with it. Let's do the hospitality table. It's going to be for the match slotted for Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose. Let's go ahead and hit that bell icon. Let's go ahead and click green, ready. We'll see how this pans out. Alright, we got Janela going back, shoulder blocking Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor does the same. He knocks Chuck Taylor out of the ring, gets him in, pins him for the 1, 2, 3. Joey Janela beats the Kentucky Gentleman. Alright, so we got Nyla Rose power slamming Britt Baker, doing a back body drop to Britt Baker, but Britt Baker ultimately gets the 1, 2, 3 against Nyla Rose. Alright, we got Hangman and Page doing shoulder blocks to Cody. We got Cody coming back with some fists. We got Adam Page coming up. He finishes it out with 1, 2, 3 though. So how is this gonna pan out for us? We got a 2-star rating. Alright guys, so we ended up with plus $87,080 on cash. We ended up with plus 70,525 rating, fan interest. And for morale, our morale got pushed up 45. So that's good. The Chuck Taylor versus Joey Janela match, it was negative 1,014. So preferably we're going to try to get some different mid-card talent, because the fans, they didn't like that match at all. For match 2, it went up to 20,208. And the hospitality table ended up bumping it up quite a bit more, so that's good. And then of course, with Cody going against Adam Page, it went to 51,333. So that was the biggest match of the night. It was the main event, and it drew the most. That's what you expect out of it. And that's good though. It's good. Alright, so we got 146,000 now. $146,080 to be able to work with. We've got this roster that we've got right here, but I want to go to the contracts because I think we can add some people to be able to boost quite a bit of stuff up. Right. I'm looking for some people to add into the lower card. Like I say, we could spend, instead of getting Jericho, we could spend 30,000 on Darby or Moxley. Now, granted, Jericho's at 98 as far as popularity goes. You got Darby at 90, and you got Moxley at 95. And then we got Cage at just 20,000. And this is going to be kind of like a slow. If we do it like a slow build, we could do Cage. We could go ahead and add him to the lineup, which I think I'll do right now. Sign him, and we'll sign Abaddon. That's going to be 35,000, but it's going to be used on 2 different competitors. Alright, that puts it at 111,000. Alright, so match type number 1. Let's go ahead and go for a one-on-one matchup. This particular time we're going to do Chuck Taylor set at 75, Joey Janette's 72. Let's do, even though he lost the last matchup, but yeah, I'll tell you what, Janela beat Chuck Taylor. We'll put him against Brian Cage. That match is set up. Now the secondary match, we've got 3 females, but I don't want to put 3 females in this matchup yet. The reason being is we had a one-on-one female match this past matchup. So let's do Abaddon versus Nyla. No. Yeah, Abaddon's our newest one. Let's do Abaddon versus Britt Baker, because Britt Baker won the last matchup. Now the main event match, one-on-one. We didn't add Moxley, but we can do Chuck Taylor versus, where's Chuck Taylor? There he is. We'll do Chuck Taylor versus Cody. But I kind of dread this because Chuck Taylor's got lower popularity. Hopefully Cody will be able to pull up the match, pull up the ratings for that. Alright, but let's see if we can figure out some type of way of adding a segment to it where it will boost popularity for that matchup. Pre-tape and catering, we got a backstage pull apart. It's going to add 50% to it. That's probably what I'm going to do, honestly. Or political campaign, contract signing. Steak dinner is going to add 20% popularity and plus 10 on speed, which will in turn make the match more exciting as well. So I'm tempted to do that. And the backstage pull apart adds 50 to it though. Let's do the backstage pull apart because it just that it's going to add so much more to it. We'll do that. We'll add it to Cody versus Chuck Taylor because that's the one that I think is going to need it the most. We could be wrong about that. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and click the bell. Let's click ready and let's see how this turns out. Alright, we got Joey Janela going against Brian Cage. Brian Cage gets a shoulder tackle. Janela jumps the springboards off the rope. Cage hits him with a V-trigger and 1, 2, 3. Cage wins that match. I was figuring Cage was going to win that. Abaddon goes at Britt Baker. Gets her with the elbow drop. Britt Baker comes away with the 1, 2, 3. So Britt Baker wins match number 2. Chuck Taylor dives off the ropes. Cody comes back with a knee to the head. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins the match, which we expected. We expected Cody to win that match, but let's see what the popularity and the star rating ends up getting. So we gained 145,375 on cash. For fan interest, it went up 78,663, and then for morale, it went up 35, and we got a 2-star rating for the overall show. Cage versus Janela got 141 as far as TV and 5,307 as far as fan interest. Britt Baker versus Abaddon ended up with 173, 24,842 for fan interest. And then Cody versus Chuck Taylor, which is one thing that I was figuring it was going to do, was be able to boost it up a lot, and it did. 210 as far as the TV, and 48,514 as far as fan interest. So it did help out a lot. Good deal. Okay, so that leaves us with 206, 455. So we're sitting with 8 people right now. It's going to be able to add more than what we had. So let's go to roster. I want to go to signings, and I wish I could refresh this though. I know once we finish this out, we'll be able to. We got spots for another. We need another main eventer. Somebody else to shake up the main event. We could go a couple of different ways with this. We could go with Chris Jericho. We could go with Jon Moxley or Darby Allin. I want to go with sign Jericho, and we're going to sign we'll sign Allie for the female division. So that's 45,000 we put in. Let's go ahead and go to schedule. Match types, probably going to stay at one-on-one. We'll just say if we only done one-on-ones, it's going to be 30,000 across the board, and whatever segment we do, it's going to add more to that. So we got to make sure we got enough to be able to clear that, which we got plenty right now. 161,000 is what we've got to work with. Roster-wise, and people that we've got, I could spread these main eventers out, and I could put like one main eventer on the first match and one of them at the end of the match. Because, and you see them do it a lot in AEW right now. Like, say, the first Rampage, the first AEW Rampage, they had Kenny Omega and Christian Cage going for the Impact title. Well, they went ahead and started the night out with that match. Because they say, you know, if you're not going to be in the main event, they'd rather go on first instead of in the middle of the card, right? So, let's see what we've got here. No, not Janela. Let's see. I actually want to put Adam Page against Brian Cage. Winner's unclear, so that's good. That's gonna bring up fan interest. It's gonna, you know, make them think, well, what could happen? And we might end up actually putting a gimmick in that match as well. Next, we're gonna go with Chuck Taylor's went up to 79. Janela's at 75. Cody's at 99. He's topped off. I don't think you can get any higher than that. But I'm looking for some type of female match. Let's go with, since Abaddon won her last match, let's go with Abaddon versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker's been going at it a lot. I'll tell you what, instead of going with just a singles match, let's go to match types, and we'll put this as a tag team match instead. And we've got enough females, we can actually add a tag team female match. What we're going to do right now. We'll go with Abaddon and Allie going against Britt Baker. She don't like Nyla Rose though. I'll tell you what, we're going to do this instead. We're going to put Allie over here with Britt Baker, and we're going to put Nyla Rose and Abaddon together. That'll work just fine. Of course, it's going to add another 10,000 to the match cost, but I think it's going to bump up the fans and the interest in the complete card enough that it's going to benefit the whole show. So let's go with match types. Let's go with a 1 versus 1. Like I said, we got Page and Cage in the first matchup. Let's see who can we come up with the main event with. We can come up with Cody versus Jericho in the main event. And now what is this? This is Sue's Van. Arrive to a match in comfort. Plus 10% match pop for one match. Plus 30% morale to wrestler's team for one match. Plus 10% endurance to a team for 1 week. Okay, so that's going to be something you got to do for a tag team match only. Give them the chariot. Plus 12 strength to a wrestler for one match. Swing with some extra power. Plus 50%. I don't think this match even needs a gimmick. I think with the unclarity you've got about who's going to win the match, I think it's going to be enough to be able to pull it out and make it interesting enough to where we don't even need a gimmick for it. So let's not do the gimmick on it. We'll save it for one of the matches that we got coming up in the following weeks. And instead of doing a gimmick match, we are going to do a some type of promo, impromptu, something that's going to advertise the match or make it build more want to see out of it. I'll put it that way. Pre-tape and catering, backstage pull apart's interesting, and I think we could do that. Maybe we could do that and have it for the first match. Let's do the political campaign ads, but it's $75,000 to be able to do that though. Backstage pull apart, and let's do it with the first match with Cage and Page, and we'll say it just happens before. We'll say it happens before they get out there to wrestle. So we're starting the match out. They've already had the backstage pull apart. Alright, so Page jumps off the ropes twice. Brian Cage hits him with the backdrop. 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised. Brian Cage ended up beating Adam Page in that first matchup. Alright, so Abaddon goes to outside. Alley jumps, springboards off the top rope. Nyla Rose springboards off the top rope, and Abaddon and Nyla Rose win the match. I wasn't expecting that. Cody Rhodes and Jericho are going after each other. Cody Rhodes knocks him down the shoulder tackle. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wins. Alright, we still ended up with a 2-star rating out of it, but cash wise we ended up adding $132,982. Fan interest, we ended up adding $225,756, and with morale we ended up adding 50. So 34,314 fans were watching the Cage versus Page match. And the backstage pull apart segment. Then you had 107,798 that watched the tag team match between Abaddon and Nyla Rose and Britt Baker and Alley. That was a lot. That was more than what our main event got. Granted, there was no gimmick match or nothing for the main event, but the main event ended up pulling in 83,644. Yeah, that tag team match was a good idea. It killed it. And we got 2 stars out of it. So, solid. Very good, very good. Okay, so it's giving us, we got 245,437. We got 2.35 million fans right now. And we got 130 on morale. So let's go to roster. Well, let's go to roster signings, better yet. We got Darby Allin and Biggs. Let's see. Tell you what, let's do. Let's sign Moxley's at 95, Darby's at 90, but Darby's got 99 on speed, which is supposed to make the match more exciting, right? Moxley's at 85 on speed, 85 on strength, Darby's at 75, Hardy's at 80, Moxley's the same. I'll tell you what, let's do sign Moxley, and then we will sign Hikaru Shida. So that's 50,000 we put into that. We got 195,437 to run the show with. Alright, so let's go to the match types. Tag team match was a big hit this past show. But I mean, we got all different types of matches we could do. We could do 2 versus 2 versus 2 in a 6-man, in a 3-way tag team match. But that's going to cost $30,000 if we decide to do that. Wait a second. Nah, let's not do that just yet. Let's do a triple threat. And let's do Chuck Taylor and Brian Cage and no, better yet, wipe Chuck Taylor off of it. Let's see if we can do this. We can do Page versus Cage versus. Now Moxley don't need to be in the first matchup. Let's do, just to kind of see what happens here, Jericho. I'm putting Jericho on first against these two. But they're saying Cage is likely to win. Maybe it's because his morale's up so much. I'm not exactly sure. But we might end up changing that. Let's see what else we got. We could almost turn that into a tag team match. We do a one-on-one match, but we're gonna do a regular steel bat is not gruesome enough. Plus 50 match pop for one match. Minus 5 stamina for opponents. Let's add the steel baseball bat being used, and this is gonna be for Britt Baker. Didn't I get I got Riho, didn't I? And Riho. Okay, now the secondary match is going to be a tag team matchup, I do believe. Let's see, we got a 3-way here. I don't know, let's see what we can come up with. Put Moxley. Against Cody. See, do I have to have Janela in this matchup? I wish I could do a mixed tag team match. I think that would be fire, but if we can't do that, let's do. It's not gonna be fair. Hang on a second. Let's take Page off here. Page off here, and let's put Chuck Taylor in there. And put Janela here. So we're pretty much going to feed these two to Brian Cage. This might be a squash match. But in turn, we're going to put Jericho in this huge tag team match. It's going to garner a lot of viewers, I do believe. I think that's going to garner a lot of viewers. I think Britt Baker versus Riho is going to garner a lot of viewers. And then we're going to have this triple threat matchup. And we are going to do a segment. The segment's going to be... We're going to do a political campaign, and we're going to do it for the tag team match. It's going to be done for Cody. Yep. Whoa, wait a second here. We just got to drag him, drop him. Cody and Jericho. Alright, let's see how this turns out, guys. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Alright, so this is triple threat match. Cage comes out with a back body drop, but Chuck Taylor does the same to him. Joey Janela does a springboard. Cage knocks him down, pins him for the 1-2-3. Alright, Cody comes out, pushes Moxley against the ropes. Jericho comes off the top rope. Page gets knocked in, he gets knocked out of the ring, and Moxley and Jericho end up winning that matchup. Britt Baker comes off with the steel baseball bat. She does a suplex to Riho. She pins Riho for the 1-2-3. Now, the real question is, how is this going to turn out as far as watching? Ooh, we finally got that 3-star rating. Finally. Jeez. Okay, so we ended up adding 156,949 to the cash. We ended up adding 382,815 to our total fans. we ended up adding 50 to the total morale. Okay, so 68,893 tuned into that triple threat matchup that we had in match number 1. And it got 262 on the TV star thing. We got match number 2, 497 on the TV, 205,759 fan interest. And of course we had that political campaign that was going to make the match faster, and it added a plus 50% speed boost to it. And then finally with the main event, if we would have had the option to be able to add the championship stipulation to this, I would have made this a championship match. Of course, Riho going against Dr. Britt Baker. Britt Baker coming out victorious, 108,163, 329 on TV. So yeah, solid. I probably could have made those interchangeable and made the tag team match the last main event match, but either way, it turned out good, so it was alright. Shivani says, I don't think I've ever seen someone pick up the business as quick as you have, yet I think we really struck gold with you. If you ever want a refresher on any of the concepts, revisit the campaign at any time. If you want to take the knowledge you've gained and test your booking abilities, try our challenges. New challenges are available daily. Or take your skills and go head to head with another GM and see who can create the best wrestling show. Okay. Alright, so Shivani says, now will be a great time to spend those vouchers. Head over to the store page and put in an order. Aren't getting the results you want? Show, try switching up. Well, okay, so let's go over to this to the shop. Let's see. Here you can see all the available packs that can be purchased for tickets and vouchers. Supply packs can contain accessories, emotes, gimmicks, and finishers. I wonder what's inside this one. Alright, so let's go with single gimmick pack, or I'm not sure which ones you want me to pick. Single supply pack. Purchase successful. It's wanting us to go ahead and open the box up. Let's go ahead and slide it across the top of it and see what happens. We got a shocked emote. A shocked one. Alright. Let's see. Tap to edit loadout. Let's see, avatar. It's gonna let us pick one. Let's go to avatar list. We got Jericho here. We got Paige. We got Darby. MJF. Omega. Yeah, we'll pick Cody. Cody is the avatar for right now. Let's see. So you can get different stuff to be able to put on your avatar. That's pretty cool. If you have part of it, I guess you gotta be able to win those through the packs and stuff like that. I suppose. Let's close that out for right now because we don't have any of the extra stuff yet. And let's confirm it. Loadout saved. Now, these are different finisher moves that you get to be able to get to add to the show. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. I'm thinking the same way on this. We kind of got to unlock those by being able to get more tickets, more yeah. Let's see here. Join the game's Discord server. And then, of course, we could do a matchmaking. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to go ahead and do one match against somebody else. Let's do a casual match real quick. Looking for somebody right now. And waiting. Arranging dark order numbers in alphabetical order. Looking for a working pen. What is it talking about? Please do not leave the app while in a match. Minimizing and closing the game can cause connection issues. Just waiting to get linked up with somebody right now. That's taking a bit, guys. I guess I'm going to jump off here for a bit, but I will be back on, and I will do some more on this AEW when I come back on at some point. I appreciate anybody that watched. It's been Twilight TCM.